After hearing from and reading about so many trail riders that are crashing, here are the top 5 mistakes that I see trail riders making that are causing them to crash. The first one, which I've made plenty of times, is squeezing with your hands. So you're death gripping the handlebars. And this can be anytime you come up to a steep hill, a tight section with a lot of trees, maybe it's a big log or a rock, you tense up and squeeze really hard. And it's easy to do this because you think that you might crash because it's a new or challenging section, so you want to squeeze really hard so that you feel in control of the bike. You feel like you need to handle the whole weight of the bike so that you don't fall over. But what I've found is that the more I squeeze and death grip the bars, the faster I'm going to get fatigued. So my arms are going to pump up, my wrists and hands are going to cramp up. It's going to be really hard to use the throttle smoothly, smoothly apply the brake, or even pull the clutch lever in. And when you're riding a technical section, whether it's a steep hill or rocks, and you can't be smooth with the controls or the throttle, it makes it really hard to stay in control. The throttle gets really jerky, you can't even use the clutch or you end up stalling it. So you end up having less control. The bike is controlling you when you're constantly death gripping the bars. Mistake number 2 I see all the time, and I've done it too, is staring at the log or the rock or the tree on the side of the trail that you don't want to hit. Why? Well, it's just our natural tendency to look at the things that we don't want to hit because we're afraid to hit them. But what ends up happening is, well, yeah, you're more likely to hit them because when you're looking at and you're focusing on that object or the obstacle that you don't want to hit, your brain is telling you, go there because that's what we're looking at. That's what we're focusing at. So you need to stop looking at the stuff that you don't want to hit. There's so many things that you can look at, so you just need to stay focused on where you want to go. The third mistake that I see more and more is when trail riders try and stand up at least 90% of the time. And yes, there are many times where standing up is the best choice because you have more potential for control. You need to learn the proper body position for standing to ride up hills, down hills, logs. But I see a lot of comments of people struggling to stand up. They're getting fatigued really quickly, and they're just trying to stand up all the time because that's what other people are saying. That's what the experts are saying. Oh, you got to stand up as much as possible. But what I have found is easier for the woods riding, the trail riding that I do, I try and stand as little as possible. This means that when I'm riding a smoother trail and it's kind of just flowy back and forth, there's not a lot of whoops, I'm not going to be standing. And what does that allow me to do? Well, it allows me to ride longer, faster, not get fatigued as quickly because I can relax my body because I'm sitting down. And if you want to learn the proper standing positions and sitting positions, those are just some basic techniques that I have in my free Basic Techniques Guide to Trail Riding with Confidence. You can get that in the description below. Mistake number 4 is riding too fast too soon. Now, I personally don't make this mistake too often, but I see it from a lot of usually guys that like to just ride fast, ride hard, right out of the gates. They think that they can just go wide open. They don't need to warm up, especially if maybe the temperature is really hot out. But when I do this, when I try and go too fast, too soon, maybe trying to keep up with faster riders, I find that it's hard to be comfortable. It's hard to ride at my maximum speed right away because my body isn't warmed up. It's not relaxed. It's still tight. So, and when my body is tight, I can't stay loose on the bike. It's harder to be smooth with the throttle and the controls. It's just like your bike or your car that needs to be warmed up to its full operating temperature before everything is working efficiently and to maximum performance. Mistake number 5 that I see so many trail riders either say or do is, when in doubt, throttle out. Just send it, dude. If you're starting to get sideways or you can't make it up the hill, just full throttle. Hold it wide open, get over the rear and gas it. Well, yeah, that can work. until it doesn't. If you're already out of control, then why do you think that just giving it more gas is gonna give you more control? I don't know about you, but I would rather not have to replace parts or potentially risk getting injured just to make it up that hill or get over that log, because I don't have the skill and I'm just relying on the power or the throttle of the bike to get me up and over it. About the only time that's a realistic solution is when you're doing a vertically insane hill climb where you're at the top and it's basically straight up and you just need to shoot your bike up. But for 99.9% of the times, just getting over the rear and gassing it and hoping for the best is not the safest or the best choice. And if you ride with other riders who are more experienced than you and they're making it look easy when you have to just gas it to get over that obstacle, well, that's a good sign that you haven't mastered the basic techniques. And if you want to learn how to become a safe and confident trail rider without taking years to learn how to do it, you should check out this video here. I'm Kelly Fager from MX Hideout. Ride safe, have fun, because I don't want you to get hurt.